Hey, everybody, we are live. Took long enough. I am not watching Keto. Unless you guys talk about someone else. Hold on, I gotta shut this off. Hmm. So, hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. All right. We're not gonna go super late tonight, guys. I know other nights I go till I kind of get tired. I'm not doing that tonight. I am well, it's not gonna make me good, and I just don't wanna do that. So we're not gonna go that way tonight. We are just gonna work for a little while and probably, if we end up hanging out, we end up hanging out too. So Graham, thank you so much, Graham. I appreciate it. Let's see. Tried a new setup. This is really ghetto because I've got because this is I can't show you what my camera looks like, but my phone, my camera is a webcam that clips on top of it's mounted on top of my monitor, and I've taken it off and I've kind of connected it to my boom mic, so it's kind of hanging on there tight. So we'll see. Would I have sex with two guys like Ricada to prove I'm straight? I don't get the joke. Would I watch? Well, it's a middleweight fight. I'm not particularly enthralled by. I mean, I like Sean Strickland, but I'm not going to spend $70 just to watch him beat the shit out of somebody up in Toronto. I just the card was okay, but it wasn't like the coolest card ever. I mean, so yes, this was an apple, which I'm going to be eating. More importantly, you're watching me, so that's an issue. So that is kind of where we are. So let's get this. Is that all right. This might be a little easier, at least to look. I don't know how well this is going to go from here. We're going to try it. All right. So last time we were doing this, we were putting some ordnance together, doing some things. I think this might be easier to look at. We're also working on landing gear, which I think is just fucking awkward and obnoxious in how this is set up. Also, let me know if you guys, hold on. Can you hear me okay? And also, I don't think he'll mind. We are going to watch Trash Cast because Crystal Kaiser set for June 4th. Thank you. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that, man. Muted. Thanks, Porcelain. I'm going to set up a Trash Cast in the background because it's going pretty good. I don't know how the fuck EVS is making money, but yeah, he's making the money right now. I give him my hat's off to him.
Be 2 reviews, a double review weekend. That's the plan right now. I couldn't do both of them on one show. I would run out of energy, and I really want to make sure that people are involved.
If I can minimize this at all. If I can switch the screens out.
Is doing better on eBay right now. We got some more bidders on ISOM number 2, $810. That's crazy. I should just mark up everybody's comic book and deface it, and take that money, sell the books, take that money, give it to Dillard, pay Dillard.
Well, let me do it, damn it.
The defaced comics of the people who believe that it's okay to let him work for 6 months without pay. Before Ballers, yeah, 8 o'clock. I like 8 p.m., right? I don't know when Ballers is, 10 or 11. They run late anyway. But yeah, my shows are about 3 hours ordinarily, 2.5, 3 hours. So I'll go at 8 o'clock. I'll go till
I'm not going to tell you how to do this, but
with the reviews. And I'm sorry for Ballers. They can either,
if you ever get like a jailbroken Fire Stick, you can get those for free. But you just got to jailbreak your Fire Stick.
Yesterday, and for the first time, they had 2,000 people in their chat. We had a big show like this, and I said, everybody go over to Mandy Summers, go watch the Baller Show. They had 2,000 people watching. This is growing Comicsgate. You guys understand, Comicsgate is, there are a lot of great Comicsgate shows. I hope you guys will subscribe to people like
Mandy I'd rather
Summers,
watch this
John
than Flashcast,
Malin, Shane
honestly.
Davis, and allow us to grow, man.
Even at times if Uncle Ethan's just perking everybody around
and funny.
So
Jim would laugh at Eric and Yellow Flash. I know. I listened to before this. I listened to Mediker talking to Quartering.
We'll just listen to him, so we don't have to talk to him or look at him.
It was, but
all right. That's done. That's done.
Soitering says, "Don't make."
So this is what we were trying to do before.
That's Soitering. Oh God.
And now that's got a nice, good, like it's a little thick.
Anything against Jeremy? Jeremy's got something against me. That
doesn't allow as much light. It's a little darker.
Jeremy at all. I'm just kind of like, what is wrong with
Focus.
you?
Focus.
What exactly is wrong with you? You can't take the bants. You can't take bants. Like you're mad at me over bants.
Come on, fuck it. Whatever. We're just gonna keep working.
YouTube. These are live.
We're just gonna keep working.
Ballers is better than Jack Show. People are saying.
Is EVS a veto cocksucker? No, I think EVS is in this just to fucking cause problems and make some money.
This is true, bro. I spend more.
He'll fuck up like
you're making right now.
Ethan says he's the bad guy, so I think he's just going to be the bad guy against everybody at convenience.
He's got a big channel, like 1 million or something.
So that's honestly how I look at him.
Can't argue about that.
But
I didn't call Quartering a zero ever until probably maybe I did tonight. I don't know. I didn't call him a zero.
See, this is Ethan. Like it's like I didn't call anybody this or that.
Friday Night Tights orbiters zeros, not Quartering. Quartering doesn't really orbit the Friday Night Tights,
All right, let's get to where we were.
Jack Show was ruined now. You think so? Jack Show is still good. That's me. Me, John, Anna, Cecil. I like Shane in there too, man.
Okay. All right.
I have not seen one Quartering message. I don't know if he's still in here or not. I see people talking to him.
Okay, let's see what we got.
We're doing good. On when it comes to super chats, I guess we're
Trashcast is Ethan Van Sciver's
$35 away.
Competition to Yellow Flash.
You can see what we've got here: $2,765. We are These are the most super chats I've ever made. This is this goes all the way back to High Council. We never made super chats like this on the High Council.
So
we never did. It's incredible. But we're about $230 away. Thank you so much.
Wait, Coffee Based Company being a lefty white label company? Yeah, well that's
I'm getting those Phillies tickets. I promise you I will.
There's only 2 people watching my other channel. That's fine. I appreciate everybody here.
Yeah, Ava's definitely getting
welcome.
if she wants them.
You guys are new. Crazy. It's the first time I do labeling this out here. So
what do you think about me, Doomcock, and Jeff Hicks doing the new High Council show?
How did wait, where's my
should we do another High Council show with kind of the guys that got cast off from Friday Night Tights? Should I do that? Wow, holy shit. 100. Wow, hold on a second. Let me get this right here. Boom.
There we go.
This. Amazing. Low water mark.
Makes a little more sense on these things here.
Thank you so much for this. This is incredible.
So you guys are new. Wow. I'm doing this on the modeling channel and on my other channel. So
$100 from Low
just at least once or twice so people can get ready for it. Switch it over.
Just so you can have the best super chat day you ever had. It's already there. And I think we're probably just $130 away now from having our double review weekend. This coming weekend, we will be reviewing Shadowversity, Shadow of the Conqueror on Saturday, and on Friday night, we're going to be reviewing Alpha Core, Rippa versus Alpha Core, which is Chuck Dixon, who's great, and Joe Bennett, who's also great. The only thing bad about the book is the characters. That's the only thing bad about the book. Here's June Wong, $5 on review. I'm doing my part. Thank you to everybody who's contributing.
Just throw the landing gear piece in here.
Make this happen. That is fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
There we go. We'll get the landing gear stretch done tonight. That'll be good. That'll be probably hard enough for me to do as a retard. So let me go grab the tools, guys.
Amazing, guys. And then we get another one right here from New Zealand. Holy shit.
Is this the guy stream or the best stream?
$169.99
well,
New
it's
Zealand
all
dollars. I don't know what that is at all.
feel.
Hold on, let me take a look and see how much it is.
Sometimes being gay can be being good,
NZ 170 to USD. USD? I don't know why I have
right.
I don't know what it is. 107? About $107. Wow, thank you very much.
I need a blend.
Very nice. Thank you. Very generous. And here we go. Zero Rad. $100. Got to see that 2 review. Here's my coffee brand, coffee money. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We are there right now. Unbelievable. It is happening. Little careless whispers. Woo!
Okay.
We are doing it, folks. We're there. I don't even need to check. I know we did it. I know we made it. We did it. We're there. Couple of big ballers in the chat.
Okay. So I wanted to kind of turn this down and address it real quick. For Super Chat for Reformed Convict. Congrats on the engagement. Marriage is the best. I've been married twice. Once divorced, went to prison. And last widowed, passed in her sleep unexpectedly over a year ago. But I'm at my best married and I miss it. Well, thank you. Thank you, Reformed. You know, it's I can only imagine your grief, but I hope you're, healing from that. And, remember, you got all that time, all those memories. You get to keep those and they can't be taken away from you. So, while your loved one's gone, you still get to keep all those. And, they're also, in the future, there might be someone else too. So, but, cherish those good times you had because you get to keep those. I guess that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to try to tell you I've been there and I know your pain, but that's what I can say. So, I get my ass kicked by a piece of tape. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Well, Scott almost saying the music is annoying. Yeah, well, EBS likes its soundboard, so. Which channel you prefer us to watch on? I'd like to start using the unsexy modeling because this isn't sexy modeling. I'd like to go over there and start using that for this stuff just to so I kind of get the feeling I'm kind of hurting the algorithm by kind of going off topic at times. Because I know doing recorded content and then live content messes with the channels enough. So at some point I'm going to be switching over completely. But for right now, this is probably going to be the last time I do a model stream on here. But I just wanted everybody's attention for that. So Scott says the music is annoying. Yeah. Del says just some midlife crisis do sex tourism. Oh, well, yeah, that's a true thing as well. How's the airbrushing going? It's going pretty good. I don't know if I show here. I'll show you. I got so the tank fell off of the counter it was on, but yeah, this is the bad boy all done. I need to work on the panel washings and stuff for like that, but this is it all done. The paint scheme didn't work out the way I wanted, so I added some brown onto it because that's not a part of European 1, but that is also the AK camo putty ripped off the bustle rack right there, so yeah, that's why it all got torn apart. But yeah, the airbrushing worked pretty good. Had a lot of fun with it. It was fun using it and fun getting it to work well. So we're all set for future runs. And for Christmas, I got a fucking 1/35th scale of that for my parents. So I guess they didn't realize I was working on one before. So I've got a good new one to work on. Ash says, I'm going to lay down as I listen to sleep. Okay, well, thank you. Well, good night. Muris1 saying, does live streaming and posting regular videos or shorts play havoc with the algorithm? I mean, supposedly it does, but here's the problem. The algorithm's always changing, so who knows what they want from you. I mean, to stay in front of the algorithm, that's the key, and I don't think it's clear. As long as you're staying within a topic area, that's the biggest thing, I think, ultimately. So that's why I'm going to start putting, the modeling stuff over there, and maybe I'll, maybe, I don't know, maybe this will change into like, I don't know, Sean's like non-algorithmic hobbies or something. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, I think you have to be careful, but it also just depends on how awesome of a yeah. Brandon Let's Go says, does being here make you gay? I mean, how gay do you want it to be? I mean, I could try to arrange that for you. I can pull my hog out on screen. So, Sleazy says, what airbrush do I have? Hold on. We got to pull it up here. We'll do that. And I pull it up, because I'm going to have to pull it up because I don't remember which one I bought. Amazon. What did we buy? Returns and orders. And Sleazy, if you are at all a serious model person, I apologize in advance because you're probably going to laugh, but I bought one that was good enough for who it's for. To quote one of my former bosses, the supervisors. I will say it works it works really good and it's really quiet. I haven't had really any problems with it once I got the Vallejo the stuff that keeps the paint going longer. The drying inhibitor stuff. I've enjoyed it. It's been pretty good. So I know at some point I'll need better tools, but for right now, the tools are better than my capabilities. And that's generally how I've tried to take on hobbies. You get tools that help you, and then when you outperform your tools, you buy new tools. So, oh, it didn't show up here. Oh, hold on. Crap, didn't show up. Here's what I bought. So, I won't negotiate bikinis, but you just go hog wild on your own stream. Yeah. So, let me see here. Scott said, "Oh, your aunt is in the hospital getting her." Yeah, well, let's say if you've never seen a hand or an arm without skin on it. Yeah, that's. I've seen a guy or two get a. I've seen an arm or two of a person get degloved at a work site. So that's when degloved sounds exactly like what when you're talking about degloved. Degloved is just like ripped off, and it's pretty tough. Amateur iconoclast for $5. Thank you. Is saying, are you going to kit bash a flashlight and leave it in the engine compartment? I don't get the joke. Are you talking about in the airplane? I don't get why they'd put a flashlight in the engine compartment or something. I don't know. I do not understand. Jason said, the tank came out nice. Am I going to put some weathering and panel wash on the details? No, what I'm going to do with that one, I'm leaving that one alone. I've got another model or two. I'm going to try to... I tried to mess with, like, practicing how to panel wash and stuff, and you can't tell the way the lighting is. It's turned into a disaster. Because I ended up spraying what I thought was a good clear coat, but it was a shellac, and for some reason it didn't cure right. And I tried using some oil panel washing and weathering on it, and it just turned into a sticky mess. So, yeah. Yeah. So, wasn't, yeah. So yeah, that's where I am with that, and I appreciate that, and I probably will mix stuff up, but I'm gonna try to keep. I'm gonna try it for a little while. If not, I'll just go back to doing whatever I want on my channel, and just it's my channel. I'll do what I want. Still, I says that airbrush is a piece of crap, and it probably is ultimately. But right now, for what I can do, I don't have I am not a I'm just getting back to the point where I can make these not look like absolute dog shit. So I'm working on, that's the point, is getting to the point where I, have a reason to buy better tools. So. Oh, it was a flashlight that killed the Boeing? Oh, I didn't realize that. I saw the video. A flashlight killed an F-35 engine. Oh, God. I didn't know that. That's a lot of FOD. Hold on. We got to Google this here. Because it wasn't just a little military flashlight. It was a... Oh, no. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Here we go. We'll share this real quick. Misplaced flashlight caused $4 million in damage. Yeah, that's some serious FOD. Sucking one of those in your in tank. Was a handheld flashlight during a maintenance ground run on the night of March 15th. Somebody's getting a big court-martial for that. The maintainer started the engine without checks, idling for 5 minutes to monitor fuel leaks. It wasn't until the airman turned off the engine anything seemed to miss. During the shutdown, one maintainer noted abnormal noises. None of the airmen were injured. One of the maintainers carried out the tool inventory after installing the plug into the line. The process took place before another maintainer used a flashlight to carry out before operations inspection. Okay. They didn't follow the checklist to cautionary items in the checklist, and yeah, they left the flashlight behind. Ooh. Oh no. Ultimately, it damaged the aircraft's second stage rotor, third stage rotor, fifth stage, sixth stage rotor, fuel nozzle bypass duct, high pressure compressor, high pressure turbofan, and fan inlet variable vane. Okay, that's fucking grenading the engine. I mean, hold on. The F-135 engine. See if we can find a diagram of it here, because that's. Let's see here. Is there a? So this is the F-135 engine. So, let's see if we can find an actual map or a schematic. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Images. What Well, is this the well, that's like I can't trust that to be the correct one because those are not the right. So I want to see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Well, that's the short takeoff and landing. That's the VTOL. I want I just wanted to see if we count it all out because yeah, that thing is fucked if that really happened that way. Holy shit. That is really bad. Uh yeah. So yeah, they failed to complete it and clear it, and the complete checklist resulted in a flashlight being left in the inlet. Yeah, good job, bro. Good job. Good job. That is what you really need to do. So, so you see the airbrush is holding me back though for real. Um, it might. I think at some like I was impressed with how well I did that and it wasn't bad. I think I might upgrade from that. And I know I don't need to spend like a ton of money, but I think I probably will upgrade at some point soon. Um, I'm Dave says what killed the B1 at Ellsworth? I don't know. Did that not share screen for you guys? Did it not show up? Oh my god. All right. Wait, hold on. I thought this shared. I mean, it is shared, right? None of this shared, you guys? God damn it. All right. Okay. So, fuck me. I hate fucking StreamYard some days. Okay. So, apparently there's the Air Force did an accident. Well, let's see if we can read the accident report. Okay. This might be interesting. 1 of 19, a preliminary. Uh, the mishap happened on. Yeah, it's I muted. Yes. All right. Actually, this may help us here because this might have pictures in it of what happened. This might get good. Okay. The foreign object damaged the $14 million engine beyond local repair. So I'm betting that's going to have to go for some sort of massive depot level maintenance, or maybe it goes back to the manufacturer. But yeah, they can't repair that on their own. The mishap team. That's great. They were qualified to accomplish all their tasks that day. So they were able to do it. They removed a panel, inserted a metering plug into the fuel line. They prepared the aircraft for an engine run to test the installed metering plug for fuel leaks. The engine run was completed with no visual indications or health reporting codes that would indicate a normal run. That's interesting. So it sucked it in and was running with all that damage and didn't trigger anything, which that is weird. A post-engine run completed, noted significant damage to the engine. All right. An incomplete toolkit inventory and failure to comply. Yeah, we already know that they weren't doing the right thing there. Okay, so they didn't follow their checklist and account for the tools. So let's see here. Authority purpose summary. No sequence of events. Yeah. Let's start. Yeah, let's skip ahead to maintenance. So these guys were fully trained up. They were just cutting corners. They were required to perform a tool inventory prior to performing an engine run. They performed, which required a flashlight due to lack of illumination inside the main inlet. When he exited the intake, he set the flashlight on the inside of the intake. After the run, he noticed damage to the engine blades. And the tool inventory noticed the missing flashlight. Oh boy. Ah. Okay, so they're all fully trained. Nobody had issues. Let's see here. Is there a picture of this fucker? Because I want to see that. Uh, okay, never mind. We aren't going to get views of that. So sharing this is so trying to find a diagram of the F-135 engine. This is what they use on the F-35. That doesn't help us, but yeah, it got thrashed up in the middle of this right here and along the way. So, you know, the blades and then the compressor. Oh yeah, this thing is done. I just want to see. I want to see like a actual schematic, but I bet that's top secret. So, yeah, but there's the F-135 engine. That's what it looks like. So that thing's worth $14 million, and somebody just fucking grenaded it with a simple mag light, which is undoubtedly what it was. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, here we go. This actually may help us. So yeah, this is a cutaway of the engine. Yeah. Um, Conventional takeoff and landing. I mean, yeah, just this whole fucking thing got grenaded out. So yeah, it's done. It's done. Walter says, "Do I play any tabletop games, or just build models?" I haven't played a tabletop game in a long ass time. I need to though. I need to. So, motherfuckers saying just Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, it's too much. I just want to mess around tonight. I'm not gonna be like putting up Rumble requires time I don't want to spend on it. Yeah. Keopathic says that's called beyond BCM, beyond capable maintenance. When it's that, we send it to a depot. Okay. A former Marine Corps aircraft maintenance. Okay. Yeah, that thing is just parts warehouse. Um, Patty says they're going to check cracks on every blade. Yeah, but in a situation like that where there was massive FOD damage, they're probably going to scrap the blades. I mean, those blades are going to be not necessarily liable going forward. Superimpose your face on a dog's butt in the third window. Yeah. Um, Garrett says, I'll put this here so I don't forget it. That's probably what he did. And Walter Malone says foreign object damage in planes causes a surprising amount of the problems. Pretty much most problems in any turbine fighter, a jet fighter, or even helicopters, it's caused by foreign object damage. That's the main thing. And then probably second is bird strikes. I can ask the Chinese for a schematic. Keopathic saying it's the Air Force. They got surefires. Okay, well, if it's a surefire, there's a big question. Does the flashlight still work? I know. Thinking, you know, that's big league thinking right there. Let's see. Here we go. Eric K says you work on F-18s too. That's the plane captain's fault. He does the last checks before the pilot does the workaround. Well, remember this wasn't the flight crew. This was a maintenance crew, so they wouldn't have anything to do with it. Scott saying bird strikes are foreign objects. Yes, but I think a bird strike, because a bird strike can, yes, you can FOD an airplane with a bird, But a bird can also smash into a canopy, and if that's how the Air Force calls it, so be it. I was just referring to like, sucking up, grab FOD walks. You're picking things up off the ground is, the way I was looking at it. But if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. So, but I will defer to the people who have to go have done those things before because I have not. So, all right. There we go. All right. So, let's get back to this. There we go. It's the Bell and Howell attack light. Yes. Oh, Eric's saying the plane captains are maintenance. It sounds like the pilot, but they don't. Okay. Like I said, I'll defer to you on that. I thought you meant like the pilot, and I'm like, well, the pilot wasn't there. But all right. Reformed convict saying, I'm surprised it wasn't a fake bomb left in the tank, which pipe bombs don't seem to concern the authorities. Well, yeah, now we're seeing that January 6th footage where that pipe bomb was found outside the DNC, and like, yeah, people were just like casually walking by it and saw it was sitting there, and nobody said a word about it. Makes you kind of wonder who actually said it. If I heard the China Lake Ninja, no. Claude says no trial coverage. We got back really, really late tonight, so that was not going to happen. We'll do it tomorrow. Basically, from what I've heard about day 6, that was Friday, there was a massive problem with the another big juror problem, and that juror problem took the entire day to fix. So we'll be able to catch up on day 6 tomorrow, like in a matter of like lickety split. Like we'll catch up right away and get done. So we'll be caught up. So don't you worry. Tomorrow we'll do it. I'll put out an announcement. I'll start like probably like noon or maybe 11 a.m. or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So give me 1 second. Oh, I gotta grab. Wait, what was I trying to grab? Oh. I'm not gonna lie. So if you guys don't want to listen to EVS, I don't know what you guys want to have in the background because there's all kinds of stuff we could be doing. You guys are interested. So I don't know who else is live right now. If you guys wanted something in the background, so okay, well that's done. So who's all live still? Joe's probably live. I can listen to him. Who's all? It's the problem with YouTube. They are not good at showing who's live at the right times. Okay, come on. Here. Also, I got over 17,000 subs on the main channel, and now YouTube has like clawed them back in a bullshit way. I think it's so awful that they did that. Oh wow, Jerry Rogan still got Brendan Schaub on. That's sad. Oh, Flashcast is still going, but oh, Lofty's on. Jesus, that's gotta suck. Fuck. Well, I'm not listening to Lofty, so not listening to Lofty. Just saying. Just saying. So I will we'll skip that for now. All right. Let's get to this. Let's get to this. Joe's busy digging. Yeah. Yeah, I got over yeah, and they pull me back in. That's how they do it. Oh. Why not put on an old Uncle Paul Harold? Because I don't know how Paul and his people would handle that, and I don't want to, stream like I don't want Uncle Paul. I wouldn't do that to him. I respect Uncle Paul too much. He's a good guy. And besides, that channel needs all the views it can get right now because Uncle Paul's not much longer for this world, sadly. Um, where is? Oh, there's my glue. Starting to panic. Hmm. I do Alexander Mercurius, but you guys don't like the Durans, so. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Do 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 do. There we go. Damn, you little fucker. There we go. So we're just gonna have to hold this till it dries, then sit right. Hmm. Love to drain, yeah. Oh, can I get the future conflict guys to? You know what? That would be fun to have them go after Hassan, listening to the Yemeni pirate. You know what? I'll do that. I'll do that. So, yeah. Oh. Play an audio playbook of the audiobook of the um, what is this glue and how do I like it? Um, it's Revell, um, just their general purpose modeling glue. I'm just giving it a shot. I like the, applicator. It's nice and long, so I was giving it a shot. Replay a future conflict show. Yeah, yeah. So, Scott taking off. Good night. Good night, Scott. So, it tastes great. So, how does it taste? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's find something to watch in the background. Uh, you know what? Maybe we'll do Uncle Paul. Um, you know what? Um, I'll take my. You know what? We'll do we'll do administrative results. I think he's always a good listen to. Let's see what he's got going on here. He's got a 416.
Gentlemen, today we're going over a 416D. This is going to be a CAG-style build clone, and what makes this interesting is based off the weapon used by Medal of Honor recipient Sergeant Major Thomas Payne. So let's dive on in.
Is there a video of the Scrotus interrogation? Oh, you know what? Actually, I wonder if there is one. Hold on here. Hold on. As much as I like admin, let's see here. Michelle Traconis interrogation. Ooh. Let's see if there's like a full length interrogation video for her. Ooh. What's Crime Talk? Who the fuck is Crime Talk here? Who the fuck is Crime Talk? Oh, Scott. Oh, he's a sword. Scott Reich. Okay, I know who Scott is. I forgot he's got Crime Talk there. Is there a Michelle Traconis interrogation? I don't. Let's. Yeah. Let's see what this is.
You have information. I'm going home, John, but I can walk the whole world with you if you want. I can take you to like the motor place. I can walk. I can spend a month with you guys. I can do whatever you want, but I didn't do it.
It's Pavel's truck. Did you ever hear of something called luminol? Luminol is something we use to look at evidence, to see if blood was somewhere. When it hits the blood, it illuminates. What's all that?
That's blood.
And where do you think that belongs to? Who do you think that belongs to? So if you know stuff that you're not telling us,
No, I don't
that's
know.
the man you're protecting, because that's
I'm not
sick.
protecting him. I'm not protecting him.
Okay.
I said, and I really don't want to see him ever again in my life.
Huh.
Do you know more? Yes
That's interesting. I mean, she's doing the whole Sofia Vergara, like, oh, yo, los míos, I not understand the English.
or no? And if you do, give us that answer and then start telling us. If not, I think we're all set.
Okay.
From the beginning, when he started to think about this,
Okay.
everything.
No, that I don't know.
Do you know more? Yes or no?
No. I have no idea what happened to Jennifer. I have no idea where Jennifer is.
Salty says, I'll add that to the Kiwi Farms thread. Has he admitted to being a troon yet? Who? Admin results? All right, sorry. Obviously me. Okay, thanks. Oh. So, yeah, I don't know what's there, guys, other than that one. So, we'll just, we'll finish up. We'll listen to, I don't know what else. So, you got admins. Let's see. You know where two is I haven't watched recently. No, I don't know what's good. What's good to watch? Oh, actually, here we'll do it. We'll do this. These are always good. Ahoy!
Sometimes all you need is competence. The G36, a modern assault rifle made for a modern Germany. So why did the Germans take so long to adopt a 5.56mm rifle? Why did H&K abandon their roller-delayed blowback designs? Gun.
If you guys have ever watched Ahoy before, this is actually a really good channel. Just I would say it's kind of neat the stuff he talks about. Like he talks about like, you know, a lot of guns throughout and like their like cultural influence. But even like he did a video on explosive barrels, which is freaking hilarious. But like a bunch of different guns, you know, like the bow and arrow, like it's all kinds of funny stuff too. So yeah, like he does like everything. It's really good. Very good stuff. Let's get back to this though.
The 1960s and 70s saw a significant shift in small arms design. New materials and new doctrines threatened to make the mid-century battle rifle obsolete. Smaller, lighter rifles firing intermediate rounds were in fashion. The Americans had the M16, the Soviets the AKM. West Germany had been using the G3 since the 1950s. It was a serviceable rifle, but there was a growing desire for something new. Something more fitting for the space age. One technology that seemed promising for a future rifle was caseless ammunition, replacing the traditional breast cartridge with a self-contained solid propellant block. This saves cost and weight, reduces cartridge size, and eliminates extraction and ejection. The theoretical benefits are clear, but putting caseless rounds into practice is fraught with technical difficulty. Most of NATO had abandoned the idea by the end of the 1960s. The West Germans were more determined. They made a prolonged effort to perfect the technology. Heckler & Koch led a conglomerate tackling the issue, the Gesellschaft für Hülsenlose Gewehrsysteme, or Association for Caseless Rifle Systems. Their caseless rifle was the G11. 2 decades of prototypes and iterative improvement followed. One by one, technical hurdles were overcome, and the G11 inched towards a viable design. In 1990, the German government certified the G11 for use with the Bundeswehr. They could replace the Cold War-era G3 with a modern rifle that was, quite frankly, a marvel of engineering. Except it never happened. This was amidst the German reunification, the tail end of the Cold War. Budgets were being radically reassessed. Spending billions of Deutschmarks on an unproven rifle was a tough proposition. So H&K were 180 million Deutschmarks in debt and had nothing to show for
Oh
it.
wait, why am I doing this? I'm gluing
The
the.
G3 remained in service.
Why am I worrying about the landing gear? You know what? That whole nonsense about practicing. Screw that. I was gluing the bay doors closed. That makes more sense anyway. Going to make it flying.
And now, the newly unified Germany was desperate for a replacement. Any new rifle would have to take a much more conservative approach. A standard configuration in a standard caliber. H&K were not unfamiliar with 5.56mm designs. They had already adapted the G3 to the caliber back in the mid-60s with the HK-33. As the Germans were dead set on their caseless initiative, the HK-33 was intended for export. It proved successful, finding a market in Brazil, Thailand, and Malaysia. In 1980, NATO finally settled on the 5.56 by 45mm as its standard intermediate round. In response, H&K hedged their bets a little with an updated version of the HK-33, the G41, introduced in 1981. It was designed to operate with NATO standard ammunition and magazines. If selected, it would be a companion weapon of the G11 used by second-line troops. But, compared to the M16 platform, the G41 was twice as expensive and 25% heavier.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise, it didn't catch on.
So.
H&K needed an entirely new rifle design. Something lightweight, adaptable, and, ideally, inexpensive. Thus began Project 50. Instead of a full steel construction, extensive use of polymers reduced weight.
Yes.
H&K's roller-delayed blowback mechanism replaced.
Let's see, hold on here. Where are you guys at? What are you guys thinking? You're going to have the UFC? Go ahead. Good luck. Have a good night. Eric Kazan, whatever we'll get from Moss and eventually G36 part kits. I think both countries have laws that like stuff's got to be destroyed. So I mean, you're gonna have to go through Tommy Built to get you one. So. So, what's his channel's name again? Ahoy. Like, ahoy, matey. Like, AHOY. So,
much more conservative approach. A standard configuration in a standard caliber.
I like how they consider it more conservative.
H&K were not unfamiliar with 5.56mm designs.
G36.
They had already adapted the G3 to the caliber back in the mid-60s with the HK-33. As the Germans were dead set on their caseless initiative, the HK-33 was intended for export. It proved on. H&K needed an entirely new rifle design. Something lightweight, adaptable, and, ideally, inexpensive. Thus began Project 50. Instead of a full steel construction, extensive use of polymers reduced weight. H&K's roller-delayed blowback mechanism replaced with gas operation with a short-stroke piston. This helped to save weight and meant that the rifle could operate with a wider variety of ammunition. The design was finalized in 1995 and its adoption was approved. Production began the following year. The new rifle was designated the G36.
A lot of fun
wasn't
using
some
Rainbow Six
space-age wonder rifle, but it was on time, on budget, and built with proven technology. It entered service with the Bundeswehr from 1997, replacing the now venerable G3. The Spanish Armed Forces replaced their Setny rifles.
We can watch an AN-94 video in a minute.
Today, the G36 and its variants are used by police and military units worldwide. The original G36 design had a dual sight. a 3.5 times scope, and a 1 times red dot.
which was shitty.
The G36V was a variant made for export, which had a 1.5 times scope instead of the original sight unit and a NATO bayonet mount. The G36K was a carbine variant with a shorter barrel and a bottom rail. The G36C was shorter still,
The
a compact
Commando.
variant with rails instead of the integrated sight. The MG36 was a support weapon variant. It had a heavier barrel and large 100-round magazine for use in automatic rifle rolls. There's also the SL8, a semi-automatic civilian version, and the R8, a straight pull bolt action.
The SL8 from Resident
The
Evil
G36
fame.
also served as the basis for the XM8. This was a rifle system designed for the Objective Individual Combat Weapon program,
Yep.
a US endeavor to find a replacement for the M4 carbine. It wasn't successful. The XM8's performance did exceed that of the M4, but it wasn't deemed enough to warrant replacement. Altogether, the G36 has been a relatively successful rifle, but despite its conservative design, it's by no means perfect. The integrated scope has suffered some criticism. The original dual optic unit is prone to fogging, and some of the export scopes struggle to hold a zero. More alarming is the tendency of the polymer frame to warp under high temperatures. The plastic that surrounds the barrel can melt under sustained fire. With the optics mounted to the top plastic rail, this can result in a loss of accuracy.
Just a bit.
In 2012, reports from Afghanistan detailed the severity of the issue. The situation exacerbated by a warmer climate and lengthy battles. Ammunition was blamed at first, but it was clear that there was a fundamental issue with the rifle. So by 2015, talks of replacing the weapon began.
Yes.
The Haenel MK556 was
Very
the
posh
initial
accent.
winner of the contract. After a legal kerfuffle involving H&K patents, the
It's funny because Haenel was one of the Sturmgewehr manufacturers back in the day, so it's funny.
HK416A8 was selected instead. Designated as the G95A1, deployment begins in 2024. So while the G36 time in service has been fleeting, for better or for worse, it has made an impression. It started turning up on screen by 1999 with an early appearance in The World Is Not Enough. An assassin uses it in an attempt to snipe James Bond in the opening sequence. The G36 is well suited to its appearance in Bond. Its black, angled exterior give it a futuristic look without being unconventional. At a glance, you can tell it's a rifle, but a high-tech one, and whoever wields it means business. Usefully, it's also divorced from the political association of other guns. It's not a Kalashnikov, nor an M16. It's somewhere in between,
That's because the Germans never
an
did
artifact
anything.
of the post-Cold War era.
Yeah.
Its well-dressed appearance grants an air of authority to those who carry it. The protruding barrel and raked handguard give it an innate pointability. It's capable of demonstrating clear intent on screen. It's a weapon of cool, collected will, a tactical choice for an organized force, someone who can afford the best, and all the accessories to match. The perfect fit for law enforcement, special forces, or well-funded mercenaries. Its emergence also perfectly coincides with the rising popularity of first-person shooters. The G36 first started to turn up in the tactical shooters of the early 2000s, the SWAT series and Rainbow Six. At the time,
It goes back all the way to fucking Rogue Spear, although you couldn't see the guns in that game, so.
it was a new bit of kit, so it was a cool thing to see. In games with an arsenal of realistic weapons, the G36 slots right in. Functionally, it's a weapon without many surprises. Other than its outward appearance, it fills exactly the same role as any other assault rifle. The one distinguishing feature it does have is rarely seen. the unusual dual optical sight as used by the original non-export variants. It is present in some games like Stalker, but most of the time you'll see the G36 with either the export telescopic sight or the iron sights. Despite being deprived of its unique sight, the G36 remains a popular weapon. The Germans love it, of course. Beyond that, it's refreshing to see a modern weapon that isn't another AR-15 clone. It has an understated appeal.
Oh, it's an AR.
not
It's an
often exceptional
AR-18
in
clone.
any aspect of its performance.
So it's still an
But it
Armalite.
doesn't have to be. It's not a revolution. It's just a rifle.
Dude, it's a stoner-derived platform. So
The G36 was a product of compromise, a pragmatic crash to Earth from space-age dreams. It was rushed, done to a tight budget, and lacked any meaningful innovation. But despite this, it wasn't half bad. Germany needed a rifle, and that's exactly what they got. It wasn't perfect. It melted sometimes, but given the circumstances of its conception, it was destined to be a stopgap. The G36. Cool. Composed. Competent.
not really good at what it did.
Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.
So yeah, that wasn't bad. Aaron says, I don't know what he's talking about, but I like his accent. Why no one makes a long stroke anymore is beyond me. It's weight. It's a lot of weight. So no, are you fucking serious? Wow. Like KO or a decision? Didn't they have a G36 like in one of the Counter-Strikes? No, they had the SIG 5.52. So that was there. Do you know the channel Fudbusters? Yes. Yes. Oh, we can do Fud Blasters. Hold on here. Let's back out. We'll do a Fud Blasters. Of course I know Fud Blasters. Let's look at some videos here. Yeah, well here we'll do it. We'll do a G36 breakdown.
We'll see if this thing is still as bad as I remember it. God, it feels so airsoft.
Watch out! I got BBs headed your way.
Hey guys, Matt LaRosier here, and I'm actually joined by our friend, the spinning rat, Mr. Ivan the Troll.
It's me. I'm spinning.
So we're going to be doing something a little different. We've noticed that there's a trend among gun YouTubers to talk about and review guns that they think are really good or cool or in some way attractive. And we had an idea to do it a little different. So what's our concept here?
So because there's like this underserved market, right, of guns that everybody's like, oh man, that's so cool. I really like them. They make you want to have them. We realized that like there's a lot of guns out there that like people shouldn't want to have because they're like bad or way too expensive or ugly or they just plain suck. So since not a lot of people are doing videos where they give an honest review and then tell you how bad a gun actually is, we figured we'd do that. So for our first little experimentation here, see if you guys like this kind of content, we picked a gun that is uniquely terrible.
It is just bad.
A lot of people talk about like, oh, you shouldn't put airsoft optics on your gun, and oh, it's so bad because it's not high quality, it's not durable. But believe it or not, there's some gun companies that just make guns out of airsoft gun. It's unbearably bad. So of course, you guys may be thinking, well, what are they describing? Are they describing a high point? No. It's much worse than that. Believe me. The company that made these actually wouldn't even sell them in the U.S. And the reason for that is because they're actually made out of melted down Happy Meal toys.
It's all Happy Meal toys. It's straight ABS.
Literally made of Happy Meals.
Yeah, the issue there was it was understood that Americans tend to shoot their guns a little more than Canadians or Europeans who, because ammunition costs $89 a gallon over there. they couldn't get it hot enough to where the ABS would start melting. And here, where we actually shoot our guns, that Happy Meal plastic, it gets incredibly toxic if you get it hot from shooting it. So that was what kind of gave this gun this aura, right? People would
I love this episode.
talk about it as if it was high quality. And I'll tell you something, just being expensive doesn't mean it's good. So should we bring it out?
Of course, the gun that we're talking about is the H&K G36.
Yeah, specifically this one, a la Tommy built. I don't even know what to say here.
It's hard to pick where to start. So just from the very inception, HK was known for making very good guns, and evidently they had a problem with that. So they sort of went on a rampage where they try to make the worst guns they possibly can.
Yep.
So that people will then pay them a lot of money for a gun that's not a lot of good.
Right. And it's interesting that they were able to take the G36 was part of an aggressive R&D campaign to take a very known, proven platform, in fact, just this part of the platform, right, the AR-18, and make it bad.
As bad as they could.
And they did their research, and they figured out a way. And so, I mean, where do we even start? So
I start with initial reactions. The first time I ever held this gun, I was like, wow, that feels just like my airsoft G36 I had when I was 12. And then I was like, wait, that's not a good thing. The airsoft, like, it creaks. The whole gun creaks like an airsoft gun. It feels like it's made out of Happy Meals toys. Nothing really feels...
Having held one, it does feel that way.
And of course, it's not like I'm saying that because I'm a wood and steel guy, right? 90% of the guns I own are made out of plastic.
Right.
But this is like more feels like a toy, feels unstable than 3D printed guns. It's kind of ridiculous in that regard.
So I'm trying to like quantify. I agree. The first time I picked this up, and it's not that it's light.
It's not light, and it's not like it balances well. It's not like it feels like you could throw it around like an airsoft gun.
Right. There's just something about when you wrap your hands about it, you're like, oh. And then, I mean, of course, you all know where I want to go to, right? The trigger.
The trigger is bad.
Holy shit. Let's do this together. Okay, so I've gone through the first stage, and now I'm applying force, and I'm pulling through.
It's long and it's kind of crappy. It's like
it's a rolling break.
It's a lot like the worst AR-15 trigger you've ever felt.
I would say I actually think, because it's been a minute since you held one of these, and let's do the reset.
It's long.
Long and mushy.
It's mushy.
So feel that again, though, because it's been a minute for you.
And the take-up feels plastic. It's almost like the fire control group's made out of plastic. Weird. Anyway, oh, it's so heavy. It's really heavy.
So that's why it doesn't really compare to an AR-15. It compares more to an AK, right? Where
it's
it has
like a really, really heavy AK trigger.
Rolling break. And so let's take a look at why that might be. Oh, it's the trigger interface itself is made of plastic.
Yes.
It's straight plastic. And what's interesting is the Tommy built, because this is a Tommy built, let's say that, has more metal in the fire control unit
than an actual G36.
And look at that selector. Like, it doesn't, when you click through it, it doesn't feel anything like an AR. This is the most clown shoes manic way to do a D10.
It's very Happy Meals. And in fact, I believe the Chinese copied that on the Type 191 that everybody likes to crap on.
Yeah.
I think that they went with that same sort of system, which is bizarre.
You can see this whole like little, I don't know what to call it. It looks like a little wizard staff.
I would call it bad.
That dances up and down through every click for no reason. And then this trigger is just like this hammer. Look at the hammer.
It's just a normal hammer design shape.
Yeah, it's a normal, completely cast hammer design shape. And we come in. The disconnector surface is so small, right? Despite your hammer like having a zip code.
Yep.
It just feels like shit. So there's that. But I mean, I kind of jumped the gun with taking it apart because I like taking stuff apart. But shooting this thing,
oh man,
like
There's
I'll tell you this much. The irons, look at how flippy and insecure that is.
God, these
It is
doors
an
are
upgrade
garbage.
that people do to these guns to put airsoft gun top rails from like
Okay, wait.
ICS or
I
you
gotta
know,
stop.
I don't remember what airsoft.
This thing, holy God, Academy, you did an awful. I am not the best modeler in the world, but these are poorly manufactured doors. I'm gonna have to go in and like dig some glue out, use some putty, and like fill this in because that is just like focus. Come on, like look at that, look at that, look at that crap. No, Academy's made in Korea. You know, those doors are going to require some work. Focus on your inner Ave, yes. I did not buy this, but this was a fun. This will be fun. We got to finish it up. We'll finish up the doors. We'll put the doors on this bad boy. Although I don't think I glued this on. No, I didn't because that's part of the cockpit, so I can't touch that yet. Okay, yeah, funny. Yes, it's the Kia F35. The F35 sold too. Eric says the 75th Ranger Regiment and the 101st just got their XM7 rifles this month. I wonder if it'll be adopted. No. It'll be in very, very, very limited use. There's no way that thing is going to be better than an AR-15 or an M16 platform. There's already issues with like, no, you shoot underpowered, you shoot like training ammo, so you don't break the guns. The guns are having all kinds of problems. The minimal amount of efficiency or the minimal amount of effectiveness you gain from it. No. Now, could I see like the next generation squad weapon, like the enhanced machine gun thing work? Yeah, but the rifle getting like done this way, I don't see it surviving that way. This is they're adopting it and it's going through like a field trial, but it's not going to like be officially adopted all across. The M16 is probably going to be America's military rifle until directed energy weapons come into play, whether it's a railgun or some sort of laser-based weapon. Because there's nowhere else to go. Like I don't see how this is going to turn out any better. But it'll be interesting because the Rangers will break them. They'll figure out how it works. So I'm not gonna pull a Ralph and beat off. So, but yeah, like the 75th, you will find out how shitty they are because they'll break those things by using them, just on their training cycles. You guys are you guys, I'm sorry. It's like another language there. Okay, Aaron, I'm sorry. If I'm saying stuff you guys don't understand, you can ask. I'd be happy to clarify things. I don't want everyone of people to feel left in the dust if we're talking about stuff. So, yeah, that was so funny because the way Ralph was beating it, that's not true. That was really true. The way he was whacking it, I can't believe he did that. That was so crazy to like the clip of it where he's just staring and then you could see him just slowly shaking and like, okay, he could be doing a lot of stuff and wait, you watch it for 10 seconds. You're like, nope, he's whacking it. You're like, nope, 100% he's whacking it. Oh, yeah. Also, guys, I know 102 people here. We'll probably do the Michelle Trakunis trial tomorrow morning, like starting at like 11 or noon. They had some juror misconduct issues, so it's not going to go very long. That's a spoiler alert. So we'll catch up real quick. But the juror issue is hilarious. So, and I'm not using nippers because the nippers are causing me problems on the door fit. So we are gonna do this. I probably need to clean up those nipper blades. They're getting a little dull. No, juror misconduct, not sexual, Kimbo. Sorry, no, your dreams are there's no good fanfic going on, buddy. Sorry to break it to you like that. So Ralph versus DSP, you did it. Oh, Ralph did it 100 times better. Ralph's is very intense. You could see him. Like, you could see it on his face. He was very depressed masturbating, so. Yeah. Yeah. Ralph tried to say he was tapping his leg. Oh, God, that was a man doing a depressed masturbation. So, let's get to this, though. Let's keep going from here. Yeah, I need to get a nicer set anyway. These actually, I forget where I ended up with these out of, but I think they came with something that we bought and they were like in the thing. So those are free. I need to actually get good ones. I'll need to get some like Gundam quality nippers. So here we go. Anyways, let's get back to Matt and Ivan, who we'll probably have coming up on the show some point in the future. I'm thinking about at least trying to figure out what I got to do to have him come on. We could talk and have a lot of fun. Because he is now finished with the Matt Hoover appeal, typing it up. So, yeah.
Gun company. But I think people figured out they were just straight using airsoft gun sight assemblies.
Right, because the sights are terrible.
Because look, your apertures are always the size of a football field.
Yep.
No matter if you're on the long or short distance setting. And they move left and right as like so much. I don't know if the gun is inaccurate or because we've shot this extensively. Right. And I think I was pulling like 8 minutes.
Of course, then there's the other thing that the whole top rail moves relative to the gun.
With your Phillips screws that hold it on, which
that's good.
Inspires the most confidence, right? Phillips screws.
People crap on Kel-Tec for using like hex head screws to hold their guns together, and they're like, yeah, and they try to contrast HK with Kel-Tec, and then in reality, it's like,
And then let's talk about this charging handle.
Oh my god, it's so bad. So you guys know, like when you're in the shower in the mornings and things haven't like quite settled down yet, and you just like boing.
All right.
That's actually what inspired this. Is HK, of course, famously employed a lot of bad Germans after World War II, the bad boys.
The war losers.
And so, HK realized, in a more progressive, more modern world, like 90s, like women are like 3/4 of a person at this point. It's kind of a huge societal change. You can't even like abuse them and get away with it anymore. It's a different world.
Yeah, in Germany, they were starting to embrace the concept of a civil right.
Right.
Not fully.
They wanted to be a lot more progressive. And so they realized that like what would make a more progressive gun is if like grabbing the charging handle reminded you of you grabbing other things in the morning and then playing with it in the shower or whatever.
Yeah. And you can even force it to maintain.
Yeah, that's good.
People say that, and people say, "Oh, that's because the East Germans were used to an AK, and so they wanted to have the forward assist." But you lock the sucker in place and try to slap it forward. It doesn't. Like, it's just stupid.
It's not a great gun.
And then let me just talk a little bit about the Tommy build specifically. I appreciate what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to give people something that the company otherwise wouldn't give them. But like, what is that? It's so ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of
with the little, and he put his little Arabic script on it because he's so hard and so edgy, right? Like, It looks dumb. It just looks dumb. There's nothing wrong with having very small, little
Easter eggs or
markings.
whatever.
Yeah, but like on a gun that people are buying because they want it to be something else, you kind of want to hide your markings, and they certainly didn't do that here. And then, of course, GSG9 US LLC on the bolt. Nothing in this thing inspires confidence.
No, it's not a
Holding it or
not the
shooting.
best.
I will say the one thing I do like is the way the stock fixes going outward.
Yeah.
But when you fold it, what actually keeps it retained is plastic deformation off of this little hump on the side of the receiver.
Yeah, like the whole stock just like sort of bends up over that, which is just
Oh, these
awful.
doors
Yeah,
are
and then to get it
fancy.
out,
That's a good fit. Look
and
at
over.
that.
Which
Is
like the stock bending
like no
is what
seams.
articulates
No
it,
ice.
which is like okay, but it's just strange.
Nice.
Yep. I hate it.
Like it's a compliant mechanism, right? That's what
Yeah.
you call it in the design world. That's a compliant mechanism, and compliant mechanisms are cool on Happy Meal toys.
The other thing I like here is the bolt hold open.
Yeah, the bolt hold open's really weird.
Which they added. They added this thing to actually have a release inside the trigger hard.
Right.
The original guns didn't have all that. But here's the issue. It works like once every 4 or 5 times. Okay, that's how it held open. And then I take
Take the mag out.
The only way to get it to reliably hold open is to physically hold it up. And you see it was like 50% higher than it was with the mag.
The mags of which the mags, of course, not being AR pattern and being their entire own thing, and they aren't cheap because why would they be?
And they're as wide as a Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Right, and they're like it's not like when you hold a PMag and you sort of like squish it in your hands, it feels like, oh, okay, I trust this. Like you can beat a PMag on a table, and the table's the one that's going to get beat up, and it's like, yeah, I trust that. Holding these, they feel like a Happy Meal toy is the thing. It's like it doesn't feel like good plastic. It feels cheap.
It can't be overstated just how uninspiring.
It just, and the thing that makes this worse is HK's prior work had been stuff like the G3 and the HK33 and the all that whole family of roller delay guns where holding them inspires. I could beat someone over the head with this thing. It feels tough. Everything about it feels like orcish.
Well, since we have this one at our air show display every year in Scotland, yes.
It's like, I mean, it feels like an actual toy. It's such like a hard shift in the other direction.
Well, let's talk a little bit more then about how it's held together. So, for one,
oh, funny.
Can we argue that it's not free floating. No, right? Because it impinges slightly on this handguard.
I think it is.
You could argue that it is.
I would say it is.
Okay. So I would say it is. You have your minuscule Chicken Little piston here. Right. Which you don't necessarily need a thick, like, original AR-18 piston, but I'd certainly want it to because it has to be a hardened part.
All right. It doesn't inspire confidence having it be just so diminutive. And under the handguard, it's not like there's a tube that covers this, right? Like you've got on some other piston operated guns, or the piston is contained in a tube to keep stuff from getting on it. That's just open on the G36, like almost shockingly open.
Yeah. So I am a little worried about dropping this on the top because a piston has to be very hard metal, which means it's brittle. And this little baby piston doesn't inspire confidence. Taking this thing all the way apart really sucks. But then the trunnion is like over molded into the plastic.
Right. It's a very interesting system that they went with design wise, where the receiver itself is the whole backbone of the gun, the upper receiver, and it ends up containing all the tracks the bolt travels along, which has metal reinforcement, and then the sort of trunnion area that holds the barrel. I think there's pictures out there where you can sort of see a cutaway or like a see-through view of what one of these things looks like. And it's sort of, I'd say, deceptively simple, because from a manufacturing standpoint, that has to be rather complex. which again makes you stop and scratch your head because you're left there wondering, they had been stamping steel receivers.
Right.
How did this get them to a better place?
And then I remember getting this thing apart. There's so much little.
And of course, you know, the same gripe that people have always had with the HK guns, the pins not being captive for military design isn't great.
There's that.
Everything just being so flimsy.
Oh yeah, you have to like. There's a really stupid way you have to take the piston out. Look at that.
Like that to me does not inspire confidence.
Not at all. And there's nothing wrong with the interface itself. But yeah, that's the gun stripped down. And so I would compare this to, you know, one of the other 1.8 million AR-18 clones where, look, what really matters on a gun like this, where your barrel is free floated, is the relationship between the trunnion and the receiver, right? That's where you get all of your accuracy, and that's where you get your feeding consistency, and everything like that.
And of course, you know, the second most important thing there is also your sights need to be. You know, there's a holy trinity that needs to happen between your sights and your receiver and your barrel, and then of course, you know, then your barrel to your sights, right? It's like a triangle. It's like the triangle. If any one of them's not there, your accuracy's gone.
Right. And so we have a trunnion receiver extension, whatever you want to call it, that's just heat sunk into a plastic receiver, and it moves.
there is a little bit of movement, and maybe that's in the plastic, maybe that's in the thing too, the plastic, but it certainly.
You feel that
it does not inspire confidence. I mean, and you know, it might be possible to show to the camera it's enough movement, and that's not barrel. That's not barrel flex. So it's not the barrel itself bending; it's moving back here.
Yeah, and it's because there's a softness.
Good luck, Kimbo.
There's a compliant element.
Sorry, I'm a little. I got.
The thinness of the
I don't have two
plastic
hands,
itself
guys. Give me a second. I'll
show to the camera.
check some chats in a second.
This barrel extension, which by all means is very AR-15.
Right.
Like the wall here is like,
which is not a bad thing.
Right. The wall here is maybe a millimeter of plastic, and so you've just got flexibility in that. It's just how it will have to work. The way you can get around that is a thicker wall or a flange or more extensive metal reinforcement. And at least as far as the G36s that you can get here in the US go, you don't get that.
You do not. And there is other AR-18 derivatives that we can look at for how that could be done well. And especially because we have this steel reinforced along the left-hand side.
Yeah, so
I feel like it could have been one machine component that just gives you.
So here's the thing about this. Like, I mean, look at that. Focus. I mean, look at that. The actual bay doors aren't too bad. They're sealing up pretty good. They line up pretty good compared to the sides. Like, look at that. Like, otherwise, it's not too bad to look at. So, say Lynn says, oh, they're quite magnificent at the night show. I bet they are. I bet they are. If you live in Scotland, you should go down to where it is down in Wales where they do the mock loop, where they these guys will like fly down like through the mountain valley, and you're like up on top of it, and you can look down at them. It's pretty cool. I forget what it's called in Wales. It's something funny. Craft Foyer has nice nippers. Oh, look. Oh, look. Salty Ball says, I gave him P-Mags and my dad dropped a brand new one 4 feet and it split down the seam and 30 rounds danced across the floor. Look, every mag is going to be like drop failure prone. At like 4 feet's actually a long distance for a weighted item like that. You know, you could step on a USGI mag and it's trash. You step on a P-Mag, it's fine. So, P-Mags are good. P-Mags are good. I'm Unhung Hero for $2. Thank you. Says, I'm going to come. Don't come. Don't come. Do we see the prominent muscles on Ivan's spank? Yeah, he's got the good spank muscles. Yeah, the mock loop. I don't know what it's called. So that's all right. We'll get a little epoxy on there, a little Tamiya putty, and watered down with some of the thinner glue, the thin set glue. We'll get it fixed up. We'll get it fixed up. It'll be hot. Did my ring make out of custom? The ring's good. 2.0's got the ring. That's why we had the party. So yeah, we'll get back to these guys. I just wanted to bring up that point. So, at least for me, that's all right. So let's get back to these guys.
It probably could have been, but then the thing that you get to is they were trying to maybe ostensibly save money,
right,
or simplify. I don't even know that they simplify anything compared to their roller delay guns. If they had just welded an AR-18 or an AR-15 barrel into the front of a roller delay gun and then made it take a star-shaped bolt, I feel like they would have been in a better place, because right, they already had the proven reliability, and especially with the G3, the accurized versions of the G3 were by all means the best of the DMR versions of the battle rifles in the big battle rifle wars, because they'd hold minute of angle with ball ammo. They were specifically designed, built out to run, but to get that in an M14, you're shooting like $3 a round or hand loads. Yeah, really expensive stuff. Like the G3 proved out they could make a really good free-floated, accurate rifle, and then they switched. They had learned how to do this, and you know what they did is they stopped doing it, and instead moved to putting their barrels and stuff in Happy Meals.
Yeah. So, and to exemplify the accuracy issue here, and people are going to be like, "Oh, you're repeating FUD lore, you're repeating FUD lore."
Fuck,
right? Because there is some FUD lore about
the gun being left in the sun. The gun being left in the sun didn't cause it to flex. I think it's not that the polymer itself or metal being in polymer was the problem,
because that can actually be a very good relationship,
right,
as we've observed. But you have a not perfect relationship here between your barrel and your receiver, and then that's compounded
by the flexibility in the sights.
Yeah,
and the I think it was Mr. Corral from Carl's Range.
Carl's Range Weapons.
Carl's Forgotten Range
Adventures.org. Yeah.
.gov.
Yeah.
He had done a video where he showed it wasn't the gun heating on its side. It wasn't the gun just getting hot from shooting that would cause trouble. But if you picked up the gun and rattled it, he was using the one with the old, the duplex sight where it's got the magnified optic, and of course,
looks way cool.
That's just taller and compounds the amount of, because the higher you get off this rail, 1 degree of shift this high off moves you a little. This high off moves you like, because along the arc length, that moves you like 1/4 of an inch. And so he ended up determining, like, if you put your thumb and pushed on the rail, the gun hits in a different spot. And so they sort of nailed down the G36's accuracy issue was the sights aren't tight on the gun.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tighten these screws down anymore to get it tighter, right? Those screws are in. That's how they come. It's just very, very poorly thought out in that regard.
Okay, and so now I'm glad you said the word poor, because people are going to be watching this and they're going to be saying, oh, well, it's just because you're poor and you don't have an HK, you have a US made one. Like, that's the problem.
Right.
So what else do we have?
Oh, so we have
the bag broke.
We have the German version.
Yeah.
This is the one that
fuck you.
This is the one that Mr. Heckles Cox put his cock on.
Mr. Harl Cockler himself. Oh, it's so much better. Y'all suck. All right. This, guess what? It's the same.
Yeah, so this is the thing that we had thought is, like, we need to get our hands on an SL8 because maybe it's just the Tommy builds that feel like a McDonald's toy. Guess what? The Resident Evil 4 sniper rifle feels like a Happy Meal toy.
Yes. And do you know how to take the... you have to use tools to take the trigger dog off of this.
Of course.
But
guess what? It's even more plastic.
Yeah.
It's worse.
There's more plastic.
It's worse. And it feels...
No, Matt is not a midget.
So I will say, if I was going to have one of these, I would want this.
I'd rather have the SL8.
Yes, I would have, because
Are you serious? I just got yeeted. Hold on here. All right, why I got yeeted? Um. Well, if I had a problem, will you tell me I did it? Okay. Well, whatever. Okay, well, fuck it. I guess we're not showing it then. I got yeeted. Okay. What happened? It got cut off. No, because this is on YouTube all the time. That's not a problem. But whatever. I guess we're not gonna. YouTube downed it. The model channel's still working. No, the gun shouldn't have been a problem. No, they're saying a channel guideline issue. What? Let me see here. We found something may violate your account. Okay, well, what was wrong with it? Hold on here. Begin review. Okay. Oh, because I'm streaming. That's why. Okay. All right. All right. It's a stream of watching somebody talking about something. That's why. Whatever. Fine. Fine. I guess you can't do it. We won't watch it anymore. We'll stop watching. God dang it, YouTube. You're so retarded. So, whatever. Whatever. Well, on that bombshell, handling firearms in a live stream, but it wasn't even me handling firearms. It was me, like, wow, that shows like a massive gap right there, and there isn't one in real life. So I don't that's a distortion. You can't show them well. I mean, when you look behind me, there's the Glock and all that shit's hanging up on the walls. So yeah, you can. I mean, whatever. That is kind of gay. So, well, with that being said, guys, I think I'm just gonna end it tonight. I'm a little disappointed at YouTube being dickheads, but so here we go. Hold on. So, yeah, we're just gonna end it tonight. So that'll be a great way to start off the initial stream on the modeling channel. But we'll go from there. Oh well. Whoops a doodle. So guys, thanks for being here tonight. We'll have more to going forward since we're kind of done with this part. And by the next time we're on, I'll have the cockpit all painted up because I don't have a setup anymore where I can just airbrush it here. So I'll airbrush it over on my setup over there. I'll try to film that and we'll try to go from there, guys. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys around. Good night, everybody.